Hello, everybody. Dr. Rao here. Just popping up because I found an hour's time till 5. I don't have to do anything. So we had a big webinar and on the video making, and that was very interesting. So how are you all? Anything I can do for you, or any questions on the? I, I wonder how many people saw that article I mentioned this morning, stress-free living, right? I was very happy that I designed a mantra by myself. That mantra is uh, awareness in the morning, attention during the day or all day, and vacation at night. I'm very proud of that because that's what I do. That works for me, and I I wonder how other people find it. Check it out. It is on LinkedIn. Stress-free living. I kind of really feel that it can be possible, and it's kind of needed in this barrage of information and all that. Okay, so read that, and any comments or anything. Some people responded already. They really thought that was great. And I hope they take it up and test it out. So and then basically I have been telling this in the morning report to morning routine that I do every day. I was talking about being aware in the morning, and that morning routine, half an hour or 1 hour, whatever it takes for me to do, I do say that is an exercise in awareness, right? I just actually mean it. Just when you get up, don't engage your thought machine or thought matrix or thought network. Rather, be aware first thing, and then um, in awareness, you do all exercises and everything. It's like your mind tries to go away, you bring it back. That is what I mean by exercise. So if you can do that and master to be in the present moment, and hopefully you can continue that through the day, right? And during the day, what do I say? Single task, one action at a time. Pay attention to every action, right? That's my mantra in the clinic. And I added this morning awareness and also in the night vacating the mind. So whatever you do in complete attention. Then no multitasking, no mental chatter. Then be conscious and use the thought deliberately, and then end the thought. And even if you have retained some reactions, some things during the day, at the end of the day, before you slip into the sleep, vacate the mind. So that's my daily thing that I try to do. And occasionally we may be overwhelmed by what's happening outdoors, but then uh, this kind of routine that I developed for myself really helps me. Okay, so I think this of long practice. It did not evolve just like that to yesterday, but I've been talking about these various aspects of it several times. But then now it took a shape that people can properly follow and do that, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Um, Otherwise, I was having a good day. I'm looking for the bigger hospitals where they may need me as a chief wellness officer. So I'm kind of looking for the right thing that I can apply to. Okay. Uh, Actually, I'm spending a lot of time on that. So sometimes I get, okay, that's enough. We can do rest of it tomorrow. That's when I come on here on the social media. I participate in the groups a little bit, but also I can now come by myself in case somebody wants to um, talk to me or have a question, have a comment, have a need or have a problem that I can shed some light on, and that would make my day probably. You know, uh, so that's what it is. So what's going on with your day? Come and tell me about it. Many times when we are doing these talks, people kind of miss the that hour, and then they later on they send me DMs, and sometimes I get to see them, sometimes I'm not. So when I'm alive, it will be much easier for you to come out. You know. First of all, what do you think about that mantra I said? Awareness in AM, attention during the day, and vacation in PM. That is the mantra. You don't have to repeat anything, you just do it, at least to some extent, or remember it, and see, understand it, and then try to implement it at least few days and see how the day goes. It requires a lot of discipline by itself, um, having understood the yogic way of life, sages' life, monks' my life, and how the monks kept their mind. That helped me a lot to come to this kind of thing. So basically, what we do is the we allow the mind to go vagabond, right? Don't do that. Okay. Kind of have a rein on that, but not by force, not by thought, but by being aware of whatever is going on in your head, outside your head. Okay, so if you are aware of what is going on inside you and outside you, aware, not think about it, not go on unleashing your thing, but you can pay attention, you can be attentive to everything, and then it comes out. Okay. Uh, a lot of times we are told to do multitasking, be productive, and all that, but at the cost of our being. Okay, that's why I'm uh, kind of impatient for these guys who are always promoting only the doing, but really neglecting our inner being. Right? We always talk about that. There should be a balance at least. Or my perspective is first go into your being, abide by that being, and the ripple effect will be you'll be doing a lot of things outwardly, right? But if you neglect the being completely, and a lot of people kind of look at me, what is you're talking about? We don't understand. Then I'll just say, you have senses, you have intellect, and you have intuition. Outward matters use the sensory input and also the intellect. Fine, that's what you need to do actually. But for inward matters, don't use the intellect, don't use the senses. Let the senses be calm and intellect be calm, and then intuitively, not even think, but feel. When you have intuition and you feel who you are, that's the being I'm talking about. Okay? And then that has a lot of wisdom, a lot of discretionary power, discernment, and all that, right? So you can um, fare much better when you are landing in your being and then using mind as a tool, intellect as a tool. You don't have to believe intellect, but if you allow it, it will form its own network, and then you get caught in that network. That's the problem with a lot of uh, brains that were raised on. You have to think all the time. You have to do things, several things at a time. I think that is misleading you. Okay. Why is that you cannot take a break and reflect very easily? And then why are you not silent and coming from the silence rather than all the chatter, all the lot of information you have accumulated. That's because wrong conditioning, wrong education about how I will think all the time. Versus, how about being in silence and stillness as much as possible and use the charter only when you are working, when you are really focusing on something. Even among work also, you can take breaks. Have you ever tried that? I see a patient and then I go into my silence, few minutes, and then when I see the next patient, I try to use my tongue and the thought to communicate with that patient. But then after that is done, I go slip into that. If you can really develop that kind of uh, frequent uh, talk, but in between, in the silence. So, have you heard of this? The speech is the grandson of silence. So, silence is much more powerful than your chat. Have you got that? Do you have the need to talk? Do you have the need that I need to express is this? I need to write it down. I need to write a book. Versus, how about living that by myself? Think about that. And once you have that, and also the beauty and the blissfulness of the silence, once you experience that, you want to go back. It's like this. It's hot out there, and you go, and then you go under the tree. It's very cool and calm, quiet, right? You can go there and really feel refreshed from the heat, and they're not that bad, right? And then also the all the moisture, all the oxygen, everything that is there under the tree. That tree shade can be very enlivening and very nice. And then you don't want to stay there. You come out, and then you are in the heat again. Like that, silence is the tree shade, and you go there only when your chatter is too much, but you don't want to stay there for long. But the people who stay there all the time and then step out only when it's needed, I think those are the saints and monks and all that. We can learn from that, and then thereby we are in that basically in that refreshing eternal uh, awareness that's always there. Okay, if you can think about that, and you are much better off that way. Okay, so think about that. I was posing a question earlier. I think it was Chelsea's room. Are you aware of your thoughts, or your thoughts aware of you? um, Generally, uh, we think awareness is a separate phenomenon. No, awareness is really us, and things happen in the mind. The thoughts, the feelings, the hurts, the pleasure, whatever, we are aware of them, right? So awareness is for fundamental, not for me, for you, or anybody like that. For everybody, that is fundamental. And in awareness, everything is happening. If you understand that, then you go and question where are these thoughts coming from, and you go to the root of that. That's where the conscious being and everything is there. So if you can be in awareness that you're in your being, then mind, thought, intellect, all those things become your tools, and then you can better operate the tools when they are objects to you. But if you become subject itself, like not real subject, but the so-called your imagined subject, that your thoughts are your subject. That means you identified with the thoughts, identified with the persona that was built up by the thought. Then you are not in real self, but you are in the shadow of the real self. And that's the problem, right? You cannot be silent there. It's always churning, 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 mental chatter, right? and that's not really good. I have a guest here, Elizabeth. Very good. Yeah, I like Elizabeth. So we had talked about. Hi, Elizabeth. I'm pretty good. How are you doing? Yeah, yeah. I'm so proud of it. I'm very proud of that, Elizabeth, because I carried myself, So
Tonight. So what's the second one?
the first one is like to be in the present awareness,
Yeah,
right?
that one.
Second
Yes.
one is be attentive to whatever you do through the day, because we know we have multitasking and all that, but I break that into each task and pay complete attention to that, and then only I go to the next one.
Okay. Okay, got it. Yes.
Yeah, that is
Yes, I
second.
agree with that. I
Yeah,
agree with that.
yeah,
That makes the mind
yeah.
stay in a
Present. Yeah,
at ease at ease and
yeah.
don't get overwhelmed and scared. So I
Exactly.
like
You go to have
yes,
overwhelmed by all the other thoughts. Only what you are doing, and that's it.
yes.
Yeah.
One at a time.
Mm.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Actually, I used it with one of my friends, Rocky. She's the Instagram star, and she has a lot of business and a lot of things going on. She told me, my mind doesn't stop, Dr. Rao. It goes all the time. Then I told her, okay, you brainstorm whatever you want to do. You develop the plan for what you are going to do, and then break it into small tasks, and then focus on only one task at a time. She told me she followed
absolutely.
that, and then she got more stuff done and did not feel uh, the heaviness of the mind.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Because when you are trying to do so many things
Yeah.
at once, all of
Mm.
them at the same time,
Yeah.
you are overwhelming your mind.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you're not accomplishing anything.
You got it. That's it. Overruling the mind. Yeah. Mm.
Yes, yes, yes. So I like that. Focus on one
Yeah.
task at a time.
Mm.
And then once you're done, move to the next one. And then at the end of the day,
Yeah. Yeah.
vacate everything and go to sleep,
Yeah.
right?
That's important because we may be happy or we may be hurt, but most of the time the hurt things, the negative things stay, and the happy things they just want to reminisce and go. But then when you're not there, the happiness, then you'll be unhappy too. The better thing would be empty everything, negative and positive, and go to sleep.
Right. Yes, focus on your list, on your sleep, on your reset for the day,
Yeah,
and let your body rest
yeah,
and reheal and repair through the
yeah,
night
yeah.
to become aware in the morning
In the morning.
again,
Yeah,
and then take the challenges again through the day,
yeah.
one at a time.
Yeah, actually, there is an exercise at the night you can do. I was describing to somebody else also. It's called ROR, Review of Reactions. Lie down before you to bed, maybe 5-10 minutes, just to review all the reactions you had over the day from reverse order: night, evening, afternoon, morning. What happened in my day, how my emotional thing was, how my reactions were. You may have him, you may not have him, but at least reflecting, then you can recall, why did I do that? It's so silly, so simple. Why did you have to react like that? That kind of helps you for the next time you have a situation like that. When you react, you already have evaluated on
Correct.
that.
That's very, very wise
Yeah.
advice for us to follow, Dr. Rayo,
Yeah. Yeah, actually,
because
with my retreat practice that I had, Elizabeth, I sleep on empty mind every day.
that is awesome. That's
Yeah.
why you are so sharp every day.
Yeah. Exactly. Because I'm 70 years old, right? But I am not like the old mind.
Yeah, you are very sharp all the time, and I hear you early in the morning, and then late at night, you're still very sharp.
Yeah.
That's
My colleagues ask me, how come you say more patients, more meetings, and all that, but you are not tired at the end? What is your secret? Do you take some medication or something? They ask me that. Then I tell them, no, no, I don't take anything into my mind. I kind of keep it quiet and just simple. That's why It's so always fresh. You always to want to eager to say or help or learn something like that. That is being young.
Yes, I love it. I think I'm gonna follow your advice to the T because
Come back, Elizabeth. I think you went out.
yes, we need to do that
Yeah.
more often. Yeah,
That's what I was proposing. Stress free living is possible, and stress free living is what we need because of the barrage of attacks we have on the notifications or requests, or whatever, right? So people are kind of led sometimes away from what they have to do, and they are not in flow, and they're thinking all over. Like you said, we get tired out.
yes, yes. And we have one life, one body, so we need to take care of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we need to take care of our mind, our spirit, and our body.
Yeah,
So our
like
spirit,
you
yeah,
said, only not only one life, we have only present moment to live.
exactly, exactly. One present at a
Yeah.
time.
Yes,
Yes,
because past is gone, and tomorrow is not yet here. What is real
that's right.
is only this moment.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next hour, only who knows if we're gonna make it the next hour, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
And also we are missing out, right? When you don't live the present completely, we are missing out. Like I'm talking to you and we have sharing something. This is really life.
yes, yes. This is how we make connections.
Yeah,
This is how we learn.
yeah,
This is exactly how we learn
yeah.
by talking to another individual
Exactly.
that if he or she doesn't think the same as I do,
Hmm.
he or she will teach me something that I don't know.
Yeah, but
It,
the thinking is different. Everybody thinks different. That's okay. But
yes,
essentially, at the being level, we are all one.
yes, absolutely. I
Yeah,
agree with you.
yeah.
Yes, and we don't have to agree on everything. I also
No, agree to
understand.
disagree. Okay, and also other thing is thinking can be changing from in our own mind from morning till evening. It changes.
Yes,
Why can't it change
um,
with other people? They can think whatever they want, but life's essential movement here is common to everybody, and that is the life movement. Live it completely.
exactly. We are experiencing the
Yeah.
same world, the same time, right?
Yes.
The day has 24 hours. We all have 24 hours.
Yeah.
We are the same in
Yeah.
that matter.
This
So we,
oneness, Elizabeth, that we are all in one energy. I think that also helps us to not to categorize people or make a difference and all that, but like a kind of really accept them for what they are.
absolutely, I agree with you 100%
Yeah.
there because the color of our skin or the accent of our speech,
Yeah.
that does not matter. We're
That,
still humans. We
yeah.
are the same human being that are here under this universe
Yeah.
that we're created equal,
Yeah. You
right?
see, this
Each-
thought in the morning when you get up, what the sages explained this. The I thought, that's the first thought pops up. And that is the beginning of the egoic mind. And that allowed, it forms a network for itself. And then assume the response, and that is the one which is separating us from other people. I am different, I am better, I am more good looking, whatever that says, right? And that is what happens. And then that's why I caution people, don't get on that train of that thought.
yes, yes, or don't get on that train,
Yeah,
right?
but it's so mercurial, so fast. So that's why it's very difficult for people. You know, one way I tell them, Elizabeth, how we will be off the train is pay attention to the life around you, the weather, the animals, the plants, the people. Don't say anything about them, but just be aware of the life around you.
Exactly. That is so beautiful.
Yeah,
And that's what I do every day when I go on the walk. I live in an area where it has a beautiful park
yeah,
with a lot of nature.
yeah.
And sometimes I encounter deer
Mm.
and they are just like feet away from me, just minding their own business
Yeah.
and eating and pasturing. And there I am, right, just admiring them. It is so beautiful.
Yeah, we live in Iowa. We have these areas of where deer will be crossing and all that, but also we have beautiful birds in the summer, and on the winter time also some birds come, but mostly we have the snow, ice, and different formations. Even winter is beautiful from inside.
Oh my goodness. Enjoy them. I don't like I don't like winter time so much, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, the chill, the uncomfortable are there. But what I'm saying is the formation of ice, formation of icicles on the trees and the snow, all that is really beautiful. So each season we enjoy. Of course, we don't like the cold that much, but to look at it, I'm saying, from inside. You know. Thanks, Elizabeth. That was good. Yeah. I think he has also done some rooms on the stress and all that. That's good. Okay. So remember the mantra: be aware upon awakening and stay there. Don't let your mind take you over. And then in that awareness, do some exercise, something, and establish. That's what I do in the morning. I tell them, be here and now. Focus on the breath coming in and out. Be your attention there. Not think about it. And also attentive to whatever is happening with your body when you stretch. So there's the four things we do. We do the stretch, we do the deep breathing while you're stretching, and we try to keep our mind here and now in that moment, whatever moment it is. And then observe the thoughts. Don't get absorbed in the thought. Observe the thought yourself. And so that they come like a cloud in the sky and go away. That's kind of a form of meditation. That kind of form of being in awareness is a meditative mind through the exercise. If you grasp it and do it with me, you will establish yourself in the present moment awareness, then carry that to the work and pay attention to everything that you do. Don't go around thinking all sorts of things. And in the evening, empty the mind. You may not see the change right away, but after a while, you will see how hard those conditioned thoughts and conditioned mechanisms are established in your mind, how difficult it is to do. Okay? Because I see in the new Vibe app, many people are in the Manomaya Kosha. Remember the five koshas I talk about according to the yoga? There is a physical body kosha which is called Annamaya. Anna means like a food, like a rice. Rice is called Annamaya. Like that's made up of food, right? Our body, physical body, right? That is the first layer, the gross body. And in that layer, we have energy layer. That is a pranamaya kosha. And then in that, we have these thoughts, feelings, everything happening. That is manomaya kosha. Many of the people are stuck on that. It's not an accusation, it's not demeaning them. It's a fact. That is what it is. The people cannot stop their thoughts. And then a lot of people who cannot stop their thought, they shoot themselves in the head. There's extreme, but that's happening too. And then there is a layer where you have this understanding of things that is there, that is Vijnanamaya kosha. And then finally, there is that layer where everything is the root for that, like a genes and all that. In that, there you have the bliss, you have the happiness and all those. That is called Anandamaya kosha. So you have five uh, layers of within each other. It's not that they are separate; they are all mingled together. For our convenience, we understand like that. Okay, but if you are get caught up in only thought and thought-built networks, thought-built structures, thought-structured ego, then you are in trouble. That's what has happening with a lot of people, right? Why are they not blissful all the time? Why are they not really fresh? This is possible. Why are they not like a child wondering about things? Why are they not letting go some things? Like a lot of people show me difference, for example, and they may not really buy anything I say, But you know, why do you have to really care about that? And let it go. This is something yoga taught me. Don't cling on to things. Live life as it comes. And you can plan, you could do it, even if I do planning something and I apply and I do all that, it doesn't happen. Don't cling on to that. Improvise, learn whatever you can learn from that, and move on. So much easier when you are in awareness of the each moment rather than you build up your own castles with the thought, and then you think that is the reality and you get hurt, right? So always be aware of the thoughts, of feelings, of whatever you have. This is called living with perceiving attitude, not thought, with a perception of what it is. So whatever that is, you perceive and go according to that, rather than, suppose you want a good vacation, you book a cottage and you go there, it's in front of the sea and all that, and then you're all ready to settle down, and then you feel like, oh yeah, this is great, I'm going to enjoy the sea, and suddenly you find two rats there. This happened to my friend. That's why I'm telling you. And you can spoil your mentality continuously, or you call the management, ask them to remove the rats and they make sure they don't come back, something like that. Or somebody might have put it there to get money from you, which happens in resorts like that, right? So once you understand, then how you react is your choice. Do you want to spoil your vacation by cursing them, by picking up a quarrel, or saying yourself, it all happens to me every time I have something, this goes wrong, or you turn negative on yourself? All that is rubbish. All that is rubbish chatter of the mind, chatter of the thought. Don't fall for that. What to do that is, don't allow it to grow into a monster. That is what make people do, and then later they wonder, how do I stop my mind? This is key. When you transition from dark night to early morning, that is bright, that is the dawn hours. That is when you want to be very careful about this and be really aware. That's why I said in the morning, be aware. And as you slipping into from day to night, at night time, you don't want to carry any of these impressions that you had due to your encounter with the life from morning till evening. Persist and get stronger. That's why you vacate them. All you have to do is don't give strength by thinking again and again. Just let them go. You can say, okay, I had this silly argument with my nurse, and she was trying to tell me something. I'm trying to sell her something. We never met. That's why we were kind of, it is silly, right? She is a grown, I am a grown woman. And she's a grown woman, I'm a grown man, and she has her own opinion. Okay, let it be, let it go. That is not clinging to things that happened already. That is yoga taught me. Then you don't cling at all, because everything is anityam. Anityam. That means everything is transitory. This too shall pass. Why are we not letting go? That is the thing, letting go the pleasures, letting go the hurts or pains or whatever. That is a very, very, these are called kleshas uh, in Yoga Sutras. They talk about raga, dvesha. Raga means attraction, dvesha means aversion, and abhinivesha is the fear, and avidya is that not knowing, and anatma, that is non-self. Non-self means your real self is different, and non-self is all the other things. So these are kleshas. Kleshas means difficult patterns of thoughts. Once you understand them, you don't want to be attracted to something, or you don't aversion to something. You let go, right? So that's the deeper understanding of yoga. But then, are you interested in it? Then you can learn. If you are not interested in, nobody can force you on that. But you may end up non-clinging, right? Then you don't have to clean because you are not accumulating anything. That's my secret, I think. I don't let these things accumulate during the day. Like I said, if I see a patient, I take insights, I do what is needed. After that, I don't want to cling on everything else, right? How I do it, and I go to the next patient, I pay complete attention to him, not bring in the old thing to me. That like kind of present moment awareness and living in the present moment helps you. There may not be anything to cling on, so they don't have anything to clean. So before I go to sleep, there's not much to clean. It's already clean. But that won't happen right away for a lot of people. I understand. That's okay. It didn't happen to me just like that, you know. So when I started this, it was in 1985. So 95, 2005, 2015, and say almost so many years now, 40 years, right? So, but it did not take 40 years. It is important to have this insight, to have this understanding by going and examining it by ourselves. Don't listen to me. Go and examine your own mind, examine how it is. Is it silent or is it running all the time? Is there a moment that you have complete stillness? That those kind of things. Don't blame yourself, just examine. And from there, move on to why is not there. Find out. Or how can you find out? And then that investigation has to happen within each human being. It's not something like I can give a tablet, I can take it. You have to work the inner work that is needed. Okay. And that is really lacking in modern society because they will always go out. We think a movie can make me feel better and all that. Temporarily, it can make feel, but not real. When you really have challenges in life, that may not come to you. Right? Okay. As you can see, I can go on this topic, but it all depends upon where your interest is, what you want to do with this stuff once you come to know. So it's not looking for answers with somebody's teaching, somebody's writing, somebody. It is going inward ourselves, by ourselves, into ourselves. That is what is needed. This is a science of self knowledge, knowledge about yourself, studied by yourself, understood by yourself, and really coming to your own conclusions about yourself. But you can see in a mirror, though, that mirror is your relationship with other people. So, like when I'm sharing with Elizabeth, that is what we are doing. In the mirror of relationship, we are trying to understand certain phenomena, right? So, your relationships are very important, and you're not out there to change anybody, but you see yourself in the relationship how you are, right? Does this make sense to you guys? Or am I talking to myself? You know. So I followed everybody that is there that are new to me. That's what something I do as a courtesy. Whoever visited my room, I want to make sure I'm following them. You know, they can follow me too. That's fine. Okay? So this, I think there's a book coming on that stress-free living, a modern physician's viewpoint. I have seen a lot of stress in people. I have seen stress effect on my patients' illnesses, and stress being the cause of several illnesses, and stress aggravating many illnesses. Okay. Um, Even infectious diseases also got worse. Like, for example, COVID. When first time hit, few people know about it. But then, as advertisement, as everything was known to people, the second wave when it came, a lot of people really produce a lot of cytokine syndrome, we call it, inside of themselves, triggered by the fear, triggered by the anxiety, and all sorts of stress hormones worsen the effect of immune response of the COVID was aggravated, and then they never come out of it. So a lot of people who succumbed to it, and also people with existing diseases, their illnesses got worse because of not COVID, but because of the immune response to the COVID by the body. And that immune response was kind of not in the positive way. And because we don't have any antibodies for the novel virus. So their inner diseases, this is very important to understand. Uh, Suppose you are very knowledgeable about diabetes and you know when it happens, why it happens, what it is, and how to really take care of it. And then you won't allow your fear about diabetes or death or anything, nothing will enter because yeah, I know I'm diagnosed, I can take care of it. And that is a big, big plus because you are recruiting your own systems to help you, not turn against you. But on the other hand, you encounter with there is no life for me. I'm going to be suffering this through my disease. It is going to affect all my organs. It is going to sack my energy. I don't have anything. Then you are looking for a magic bullet or you're succumbing. If there is no magic bullet, many diseases are there. There is no magic bullet, right? So you have to live properly. You have to take care of things as they happen, and you have to be wise enough to do those things that are going to bring you this chronic disease. That's not there. That's where I come in with a proactive wellness. In the general population, general thing, that's not there. If it is there, then you live better. You don't do mistakes of eating a lot of processed food. You don't do the mistake of sedentary living. You don't do the mistake of not giving enough importance to the sleep. You don't do the mistake of allowing the mind to chatter, right? If these are not there, these are the pillars of wellness. You will be well and you will live long, and also you will live in joy, not just existing or not just living. Okay, so that's what happens. So actually, in when you go to the ancient wisdom, they talk about this psychosomatic illness, right? That means whatever inner feelings, fears, confabulations, whatever you have that are negative thoughts, negative feelings, they will affect your physical organism in terms of humoral reaction. Humoral reaction, that's the chemical reactions that are induced by the stress you feel inner, by your own negative emotions, right? People know about it, but they still go through the negative emotions, still have that effect on that. And then sometimes it overwhelms the system. That's how COVID people died in the second wave. Many of them. So they are not severely ill. They could have gotten over it if they just stayed home and take care of themselves. But they allowed the fear to overcome them, and a lot of the propaganda also had to play a role in that. But that happens with other illnesses every day, right? People may have uh, cancer and they're carrying a cancer, but once you diagnose it, they have the knowledge, oh, I have the cancer, I'm going to live, and they succumb much faster than otherwise. Why? Because their own mind acting on them. So this is where you understand why my mind is my friend, how it can be my foe, my enemy, right? Once you understand what are the things that are making your mind your own enemy, this chatter, this continuous thinking, egoic thinking, and imaginings are a lot of dangers when there's and then producing all the sympathy overtone, not exercising, not deep breathing, not eating, all those things, they aggravate. So it makes a lot of sense for me to talk about proactive wellness because proactive wellness is where we are proactive about these things and then we don't allow those things happen within us. Okay? Then you can keep your mind quiet, still, and also think when it is needed, and otherwise keep silent, quiet. Actually, when you are quiet, your mind is much better focused and works better. Come on, does this make sense, or is it something impossible I'm talking about? What? It's not. It's something very practical, and it's something because we don't pay attention to the wisdom that's already there in the system, and also we kind of take the wrong trainings as the truths, and then we're following that. That's why it happens. See, medical system doesn't promote as much as it should about preventive health, epidemiological health, or societal health, and understanding all those things it doesn't promote. It only helps you only in a limited way when you get sick. Okay, and then it depends upon your system. Somebody may take you in, admit you because your abdominal pain, and they find something and they can remove surgery, they will do that. But then after come back, you got to take care to recover well, and also to see anything that you can do to enhance your inner resistance and also resilience. So you got to do proper things for that, right? So all these things are not simple things because it has got to do with your longevity, with your lifespan, with your joyful state, and okay, proper meaningful relationship for you and all that. Okay, so take your wellness as something that you need to be proactive about. Find out what is in my family's history, what is in my past history, what is in me that's going on now. If I don't discover and treat, 10 years down the line, it will manifest. We can tell you that now. You go for a good checkup, you go get a workup done, you have a metabolic workup done, and we can tell you where you are. You may be pre-diabetic, you may be diabetic, you may be having a lot of complications from diabetic, or you may be having a high blood pressure, and the consequence of it is a cardiac event in the form of stroke and heart attack, or you may be losing your legs because you're smoking a lot. So many things we can tell you down the line what happens if you continue this lifestyle, right? Sometimes it depends on the genes, and some we can do, some we cannot do. But even that also we can do now. We can do a genome test on you. We can tell you you may have some genes that are predictor of certain kind of diseases. Not all the time, but lots of times. So you will know them. Some of them are treatable, some of them are not. But I'm talking about being wise about, really knowing what's going on and being proactive. One of the biggest thing is this mind management and stress associated with so many people are so not know that this continuous thinking is not needed. Continuous stimulation is not needed. Barrage of information of nonsensical things is not needed for us. This is all I call digital toxicity. Whether you know it or not, it is happening. So you got to pay attention and then use what is important. Yeah, definitely. Technology has a lot of tools. Use them, but don't let somebody use it on you. You see, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So leave the devices alone in the morning. Don't wake them up. First, you wake up and you establish yourself in the presence before you touch the device. At night, keep them to sleep like a baby before you sleep, maybe half an hour before, so that half an hour you can unwind your body and mind. Simple, right? But tell me how many people are really doing that. If they're all doing it, I'm very happy. Congratulations. But my thing is, people are not doing it, you know. And there's a lot of, attractive stuff comes. They don't know what to do with their mind, and they have to keep it occupied. All those things. So practice this. Put them to sleep before you go to sleep, and wake them way after you wake up in the morning. I've been talking about this for over 10 years now, and because I have done the master's in biomedical informatics, and my subject was for the thesis at the end of before they gave me the degree, they wanted me to go and explore information overload even at that time. I think this was in I started the course the degrees in 2008. First, I did 2020. Then I did a graduate degree in biomedical informatics. Then I went into masters, right? So I kind of completed it, but they wanted me as the thesis, some subject. Then I selected as information overload, and I got to see some studies going on, what is happening to the executive secretaries in France. They put measurement of blood pressure, heart rate, and also EEG while they are working, you know, and according to the information they were exposed, we saw a lot of ill effects so on the body and the mind. And so I'm very familiar with that from the beginning. So I kind of stayed away, me overwhelming with information. I do use information. I'm a master's in informatics. That means information, right? But I use the information and elicit an insight and dump all the other data, right? Suppose somebody asks you, what did Dr. Rao said? What are your insights from this talk? What do you say? Even if you say, we can live stress free, and he gave a simple mantra for that, that's good enough if you have that insight. Forget about the rest of it and take it and apply it in your life. That's good enough. I will be very happy if you can do that and discover, yeah, we can do like this. We don't have to waste our money, energy, time, and everything, and also not to worsen our disease. Is such a beautiful thing. If you can do that, then I will be very happy. So don't take all the data. Try to understand what is that he is talking about, what is that insight I can take home to, or like I take home points, but take home and implementable points, livable points, right? Then you are acting very correctly, very smartly, and then using the information, not to overwhelm you, but like so this continuous rooms are going on now on social media. So that is also something you want to look at. It all depends on how you process this information afterwards. I attend many rooms just to support them, just to go and listen to them, and then if I have something valuable to say, I say that. But lots of time I go just to support the friends, right? Um, and then I may say, what is that she is talking about? What is that I can learn from it? And then use that, and then that's it. Okay. So hopefully all that makes sense to you, and uh, let me know if you have any questions or any concerns, any comments in my DM. I'll always answer them, and I'll see you later. Okay? Bye bye.